Can we give some love to the band, everybody? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I'm back. I missed you all. Chris and I had a wonderful time away, but it does really feel good to be here with all of you during this holiday season. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time here, we do have some gifts for you as a first-time guest. So please, if you didn't get it as you walked in the door, please know that you can come see either Ken and myself or anyone at the front who will give it to you after service. And there's also some literature in the front of the chairs, in the chairs in front of you, that is yours to take, if you feel free. So whatever you see there is yours to look at and take. And if you are watching on the live stream, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so glad to have you with us this morning. I'm Reverend Deanne Morency. That's who I am. I should lead with that, right? I'm blessed to be the associate minister here. Reverend Ken Daigle is our senior minister. He will be doing the talk today, so that means you get a lot more of me for the rest of the service. Oh, you guys are so sweet. I love you all. So if this is your first time here at Unity San Francisco, truly welcome. We are a community that is anchored and grounded in love. We're truly, especially today, since our Advent celebration today is love. We are a community that knows and believes in the power of affirmative prayer. We know and believe in the power that is the very truth of who each of us are as perfect individualized expressions of that grace, of that love, of that joy, of that creativity that is always seeking a greater expression of itself. So if you have found your way here this day, welcome. We see you, we love you, we recognize the beauty that you are. We have a beautiful way to get centered here at Unity San Francisco. So I'm going to invite Jessica to come on up here. And she's going to bless us with this beautiful opening chant. And so the invitation is literally whatever it took for you to get here today. For Chris and I, we flew in so late last night. This morning took a lot of energy. But we're here now, and it feels so good. So the invitation is to let go of whatever's on your laps, whatever you might be carrying in your heart. Just truly be here with us in this space as we remember the truth of who we are. Let this beautiful, beautiful affirmation wash over you.
I am not We are light. We are light.
And so we breathe that in, the truth that we are light right now. Even in this seasonal time where the days are longer, we are the light right now. And so the invitation is to just say yes, to let your light shine forth, to let it be the beacon that it is in the darkness, the seeming darkness. We breathe and we are breathed. We love and we are loved. We are light right now. I am light. Say that silently to yourself. I am light. I am love. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, prayer chaplains, for anchoring that prayer field so powerfully and so beautifully. So unity is anchored in 5 basic principles. And we've just been experiencing the first two. Did you feel that? We were experiencing the very first two, that there's only one power and one presence, and it is right here active as our life, and that we are divine expressions of that power and that presence. And our third principle, we create with our thoughts and beliefs. This is the anchor, the very cornerstone of unity and New Thought teaching, that not only are we the living expression of that light and of that love, but that we actively create with our thoughts and our beliefs. So the invitation here always is to be willing to examine, to look at what it is that we believe. We have an expression in Unity where we say, if you want to know what you believe, look at your life. Because we are expressing what we believe in time and in space. And those spaces, those places where you'd like to see something shift, where you'd like to see something new, it begins right here in the willingness to shift and to change those thoughts and beliefs that you may have been carrying since you were as little as that little guy over there. And it's a beautiful time of year as we step into Advent to deepen into those thoughts and those beliefs and to allow yourself to transform them into something new, something beautiful, something more full and more powerful. Ray, can I have the next slide? So we have lots of things going on here at Unity San Francisco. Lots of activities, lots of opportunities to deepen into what it is that you believe and what you know. And what we know here about our holiday raffle is anybody can win. Right? Anybody can win. We've had raffles here in the past where we've had somebody buy just one raffle ticket, and she won the 2 tickets to Miss Saigon. So today is our last raffle day. So if you were thinking about buying tickets, Tyler back there is ready with the iPad. If you're interested in buying some more tickets, we'll be doing the drawing after service today. There are some amazing wine baskets over there, you guys. So this is a great opportunity for $10 one ticket, $50 for 6 to be able to participate and at the same time support Unity San Francisco with our end of year fundraising. And as you can see, I am awash in a sea of toys here. Yeah, and I love that we've got all ages here. Thank you whoever brought the makeup for the teenage girl. She is going to love that. Carol, you rock. You rock. I'm like, Sephora, I want that. So today is the last day for toys. So after service, if you're like, oh, I meant to do this, if after service you can go run. Walgreens actually has some pretty great toys. There's also a couple shops on Fillmore. Come bring them back. But today is the last day. We're going to be sending them off to the foster kids so that they have a wonderful holiday season the way we all have a wonderful holiday season. And our Wednesday services have been going so well. So thank you if you've been coming out on the Wednesday nights. Reverend Elizabeth is going to be leading her meditation and healing circle this coming Wednesday on December 19th. Now, I don't know about you, but in the midst of the holiday craziness, there is nothing more healing than coming and sitting and being quiet and allowing, honestly, the true nature of this holiday season to be present in your life, an opportunity to become still. And Elizabeth always does this very wonderful healing circle. That's how they close out their Wednesday service. So that's this Wednesday from 7 p.m. And our candle lighting service. So we're doing it on winter solstice, the 21st. We are going to also be celebrating Hanukkah, and it is our Christmas candle lighting service. We're doing them all at the same time. So come join us for our candle lighting service. It's always wonderful. It's beautiful. We literally light candles. We have a whole medley of carols that we sing at the end. There's something incredibly healing about coming together in community and singing together. Like really singing together. So join us Friday, December 21st at 7 p.m. And on our Sunday service on December 23rd, so JD, who is Ken's husband, collects nativities from around the world. How many does he have? 70, and we just got him another one, so he's got 71. Yeah, just what you needed, more nativities in the house, right? It's small. We're going to be celebrating Christmas on Sunday, December 23rd at our regular service. So come, be prepared for it to be all on out, right? Joy. And then if you have kids and family, JD is going to be doing his they have so much fun. The kids run around everywhere while we're having service, and they set up the nativities all over the building. And then we get to see them afterwards. So bring your kids, bring your families. It's a really great time. The kids really love it. So that's on December 23rd at 10:30, our regular service time. And if you look on the program that you were handed out, there on the inside, there is a connection card, which I'm going to ask everyone to tear off right now. If you are watching from home, if you are watching at Unity San Francisco's website, which we suggest that you do because you do get the best viewing experience there, underneath the window, you'll notice there's a button that says connection card. So you can click on that and it'll open a window so that you can still hear us and see us while you're also filling that out at the same time. So we invite you to fill out the front of the card. On the back of it, there's a place for you to do put prayer requests, to anchor your spiritual practices for the week. We will get to that later on in service. Just for right now, I'd love everyone to just fill out the front. If you're a new person, we'd love to know how you heard about us. And if you've been coming for a long time, make sure you let us know that too. And if, as I mentioned, if you're a first-time guest, we do have a gift for you at the front. And again, also, whatever reading material is in the pockets of the chairs in front of you is yours to take home as you wish. And I'd love to we're going to do our first community song. I love when we get to sing together. So I'm going to invite folks to stand as they're willing and able for Down in My Soul.
Music
for a hug. Happy Sunday, everybody.
And if you're watching on the live,
Hi, sweetie. Down in my soul. Oh, yeah. Can we back up a slide, Ray? Can we back up? Yeah. Sure. Thanks. When I start talking about Advent. Hey, everybody, welcome back. If you haven't had a chance to hug everybody yet, I promise there'll be more times to hug. We have great hospitality out in the front. I saw some of the food. It looks amazing. So invite us to get settled again and invite Deanne to come back up too as we light the Advent wreath. What? The Advent wreath, I know. So today we're lighting the Advent wreath for love. And I invite Dave to come up to get ready for this. If you got one of these, we were handing them out at the beginning of the season. It's this Unity's Advent book. And it's powerful. There's a couple more in the seats in front of you. You can take it home. It's a beautiful daily reflection and meditation. I've been using it through the season in preparation for the holiday. And today we're lighting the candle for love. We've lit the candle for faith. Right? That rock on which we build our whole lives. Faith. Right? And last week, if you were here or if you were with us in spirit, we were lighting the candle for peace. And we learned another lesson about how to stay at peace in the midst of the swirling world. To stay in our own center. Today, we infuse this wreath and our lives with love. So, in this moment, we light this candle for love. And I invite Dave to read us from this amazing book.
Affirmation for this one. Our affirmation for today is, I am divine love in expression. I am a creative spiritual being, and the substance with which I create is divine love. This includes the loving feelings I may experience as my day unfolds. These are important elements, but divine love exists deeper than feelings, at the very core of my being. The Trappist monk and author, Thomas Merton, described love as an intensification of life. My life today is deepened and strengthened by the creative intensity I bring to every choice. It is only by allowing the substance of love to shape my day that I can intensify my life experience and be a blessing to others. I am divine love in expression, and my heart is open to every opportunity the day will bring to share that love with others. Again, today's affirmation is, I am divine love in expression. Know this with me?
I am divine love in expression.
And so it is.
And so it is. So Dave, I'm going to ask you to stay up here, and I'm going to take all this away from you. And it's a wonderful moment in our service today because we get to celebrate you. So I'm going to have you stand center between us two. For those of you who don't know why we're singling out Dave, he has done the amazing task of becoming a licensed Unity teacher. So, licensed Unity teacher, I just want to tell you a little bit about it. Both Deanne and I were licensed Unity teachers before we were ministers, but it's not necessarily a pathway to ministry. Licensed Unity teacher is a credential and a destination in itself. And its role is to support the ministry and the minister. And so licensed teachers will specialize in certain areas of pastoral care, adult education, youth education, or administration.
Music.
And music is a new one. There's a fifth one since then, music, a licensed Unity teacher of music, which is phenomenal. And those are essential elements to what we need to create this community and to maintain our life,
Our
here,
growth.
our spiritual life and growth. To understand what Dave went through to do this, he had to take, in the first section, 250 hours of courses, which he took both here and in Unity Village, Missouri, traveling back and forth on his own time. Then he had to take another 120 hours of leadership courses, and then the practicum, which he had to teach 3 courses here, all part of it being reviewed by Deanne and myself. And then he had to go back to Unity Village during that section and then demonstrate to all the ministers there that he was worthy of becoming a licensed Unity teacher.
Which we all knew.
And there's a written test. I forget how many questions.
Oh, it's a lot.
And for those of you who are raised Catholic, we call it Kansas City Catechism instead of, so it's a lot of having to memorize answers. But there's also a spiritual component that is about how you present yourself as a teacher. Dave has decided to become his specialty is pastoral care. So he is our licensed teacher for pastoral care. He joins Laura Taylor as a licensed Unity teacher in this community, and we are so blessed by his efforts, by his dedication, and by his presence.
Yes.
But I haven't finished the ceremony.
He has a halo, Francine. I see it.
This is the transformative moment. Because we all know that we do these things in life. We go through these milestones, and all of a sudden we're recognized for something that we've been accomplishing for a long time and incrementally becoming. And all of a sudden, your friends, your colleagues, your family see you differently, right? And that's the moment we're at today. So we have an amazing certificate here for Dave. We're going to hang here. If that's all right with Dave, we can make him a copy of this. We're going to hang it here for the moment to honor Dave as a licensed Unity teacher, specialty in pastoral care. We have an affirmation that goes, if you get the next slide, is we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. So before we all say that together to Dave, I want to present him this. I want to tell him that his presence, his wisdom, his love, his understanding, and most importantly, your service, your dedication to being of service to the community is the greatest act of love there is. Selfless, not doing it for anything other than to be present for other people is an amazing gift to me, to Deanne, to all of us. So can we all extend our hands and know this affirmation for Dave? Dave.
We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And so it is. Amen.
Do you want to say something?
Thank you. It's been an amazing journey.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
So we're going to invite Jessica to come on up.
Anna, Santa Susanna, Santa Cecilia, Santa Capilia, Santa Dominica, Mary Angelica, Frater Ashid, Frater Pietro, Julianus, Petronilla, Santa, Santos, Miroslav, Vladimir, and all the rest. A man is placed upon the steps, a baby cries, and high above you can hear the church bells start to ring. And as the heaviness, oh, the heaviness, the body settles in, somewhere you can hear a mother sing. Then it's one foot, then the other, as you step out on the road. Step out on that road. How much weight? How much? Then it's how long and how far and how many times. Before it's too late, calling all angels, calling all angels, walk me through this one, don't leave me alone. Calling all angels, calling all angels. We're trying, we're hoping, but we're not sure how this goes. Oh, and every day you gaze upon the sunset with such love and intensity. Why, it's almost as if you could only crack the code and you'd finally understand what this all means. Oh, but if you could, do you think you would trade in all the pain and the suffering? But then you'd miss the beauty of the light upon the earth and the sweetness of leaving.
Thank you, Jessica. Oh, I love that song. When Jessica sent me a list of love-related songs because we're lighting the candle for love today, I chose that one, and she said, "Really?" But yes, because love isn't about when everything goes right, right? Love isn't about just when it's all going our way. But love's about being that presence in the midst of the pain, and about loving when it's not easy to do so. This world, which she talks about in the song that she sang to us about in the song, is backwards, right? We have been born into, grown into, live in this world and in this culture that tells you to get better, to achieve, you have to look at what you're doing wrong. You have to look at what's not right and then fix it. You have to look at the thing that's missing and get more of it, or find it somewhere, or hoard it and keep it and not share it. And we here at Unity, unitics, crazy people that we are, believe the exact opposite is true. That if we want more, we have to give it away. If we want more love, we have to give more love. If we want more peace, we have to be peace. If we want more money, we have to share it. That hoarding doesn't provide it for us. So much so that we use, on a lot of different levels here, we use a process called appreciative inquiry. And it's a change model developed actually for corporations that is based on only asking positive-based questions. Right? Only asking, what do we do well? Where do we shine? When have you been most happy? Because when we can focus on those moments in our lives, those things in our lives, we know that they will grow. When we give our energy and time and attention to them, they prosper, and therefore so do we. We believe in this so much that we persistently, unrelentingly, and constantly try and remain positive. So much so that even in our evaluations, the board of trustees does an evaluation of me yearly, and I do evaluation of the staff. And we use appreciative inquiry in that process. All we do is look at what we do well. Now, trust me, if you ask people what they do well, they'll tell you what they don't do well, regardless of the question you ask. So there's no need. And we all know, as advanced spiritual beings, that we can recite the things we want to improve. We can recite the things where we feel we are our growing edge. Isn't it nice to have the things you do well affirmed by other people? That they come to you and see you and say, you are God's perfect expression. You are divinity in expression. You are love. Your loving is a miracle. You are God's perfect child. And I love you exactly the way you are. You are whole, complete, a miracle. That you're here and that you're sharing and that you're loving is truly a gift to us and to the planet. Wow. What if you could start your day by looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am divine in expression. I am a gift to the world. I am love. I am whole. I am more than enough. That understanding creates a new landscape, and that's what this process, this ritual of lighting this wreath is really all about. It's creating a new us and creating a new earth, a new heaven and a new earth right here and right now by illuminating the truth of who we are and expanding that circle of light, of love, of faith, of peace, till it encompasses us all. There's an expression, a way of loving, called agape love. And as I was preparing for this, I found this piece of art about agape love. And it has the heart, as obviously made from all these words, right? Divine, active, unconditional, self-sacrificing, thoughtful, love, agape. And I thought about all the words. Some of them like stuck for me. I was like, really? It's like, what do I mean by that? And so when we talk about love here, we talk about divine love. And that we know that we are divine. And what do we mean by that? Well, our first principle is that there's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God. If there's only one, if there's only one thing, this energy, this force, this momentum we call God, then we have to be part of it, right? So we have to be of God. And that means that we are divinity itself in expression. You are the energy of God as you. And there's no one else like you. So it's inherently good. It's inherently good. No, that doesn't mean that everyone acts from that all the time, because God knows I don't. But that's the truth of who I am. And when I remember it, I am acting in agape love. The other one is active, and I loved this because it's not enough to know it. It's not enough to sit around and say, well, it's all good because I'm divine. It has to be activated and energized in your life, and that means to me awake, present, engaged. Right? It's not necessarily something physical, because we know there's lots of different ways to be of the world and in the world, and there's lots of different abilities in the world. When we think about it, Stephen Hawking certainly was awake, present, and engaged, but not exactly physical in the world like we would be doing. But he was so present. Now, he also probably might not agree with our definition of divinity and personal divinity, but I think, and I believe, that there's room in our definition that Mr. Hawking would have said yes. Our understanding of the universe, of this energy we call God. Unconditional. This one caught me, right? It's like, okay. So, again, we all know it's unconditional love. We love our children. We love people unconditionally. And that can be challenging, and also I don't want to be a doormat. I don't know about you, but I don't want to just let people walk all over me. But that's not what we're talking about in unconditional love, because love says no. Love says no, and all the parents in the room know that, that sometimes absolutely no is the answer, because it's what's right. It's what's best, in my opinion. So it is sometimes a very spiritual and loving thing to tell someone no. But you can also tell them no. Think about it this way. Someone may come and ask something from you. You can say no to them because it's not yours to give to them. Doesn't mean they can't get it somewhere else. You're not the source, right? God is the source of all of our good. So you can say no and let them go on to find where they'll really find it. It's often helpful to do that in romantic relationships. Someone wants you to love them the way they want to be loved. Well, that's not necessarily yours to do. But you're not saying, no, they're not lovable. I was just saying there's another channel of your good for you. And love says stop. Love says stop because it's important to be having loving boundaries. It's important to be able to say, no, I won't be treated like that because I respect and love myself. I won't let you treat me that way. Please stop. And it's a gift to the person to learn an appropriate interaction. Love says stop. Love says no more killing. Love says war is incredibly unproductive. Love says, I cannot face this anymore. But without hostility and without more acts of violence. Love says, I value compassion. Right? Love in the face of cruelty, of hatred, of injustice. Love says, I value treating people fairly as I would want to be treated. And taking a stand like that is scary sometimes. Think about yourself when you were in school and the kids and the bullying. Think about yourself in public settings where it's really easy right now to make fun of someone. Can we stand up in those moments and say, I value compassion and empathy? Love says there is more than enough. Love says there's enough on the planet to go around. We can feed everyone. We can house everyone. We can clothe everyone. Everyone on the planet. There is more than enough to go around. How do we want to allocate our time, our energy, our love? Right? When we clothe people, when we feed them, when we house them, when we take care of those who are in need. What do we want to be? Love. That's what all those acts are. And love never acts out of fear. Right? So if you're wondering what you're acting out of, are you scared? Are you scared that there's not enough? Are you scared that they're going to take something from you, or scared you're going to lose your position? Well, love is the opposite of that. Love is literally the opposite of fear. To step forward in love knows that you are loved, you are divine, and that you can take the greatest risks of your life, and all will be well. Self-sacrificing. Well, this one was like, that's not a unity thing. We're not sacrificing anything here. Right? That's not a unity word, but I thought about it again, and it reminded me that love is empathy, as I mentioned before. So self-sacrificing just means not putting yourself first, being able to stop and knowing how well taken care of you are, and just be with someone else in their pain, in their suffering, in their confusion. That is self-sacrificing. And we can all do that at different times and in different places of our lives. How do we expand that? How do we grow further and further into that understanding that true empathy is self-sacrificing? Thoughtful. Love is thoughtful. This one was interesting for me because it meant patient. It meant that I needed to take time to figure out my response. Not to react, but to respond. And respond in love. To understand what that really is to be kind. There was a phrase that I used to use when I first started coming to Unity. Someone taught it to me, and I loved it. It's like, does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said now? And unless I could answer yes to all those three questions, I should keep my mouth shut. Right? So, does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said now? If you can answer those three questions, then speak up. That makes for a kind response. Just that pause, that patience in the middle. And there's a story from the Gospels in John 8, which talks about this thoughtfulness in love. And I think love True love is thoughtful, right? The story is the story of the woman caught in the act of adultery. And she's drugged before Jesus by a group of men, saying that this woman has been caught in the very act of adultery, right? They make no mention of the man who must have been taking part in this adultery as well. But they scream and yell and rant that the Bible and the Torah claims that this woman should be stoned to death for her sin. And they ask Jesus, "What do you say?" And he pauses. He stops. And he drops to the ground. And he just plays in the dirt, writing out words in the dirt. Patient. Kind. And when he finally rises, when they ask again, "What say you?" And he says, "Let anyone who among you is without sin be the first to throw a stone." How many of us have missed the mark, have sinned, have done it wrong? How many of us deserve to be stoned by the old biblical injunctions? How many of us could start over again? Patient, kind, thoughtful. Because in our world today, in our world right now, there are a lot of monsters who are throwing big stones. If you remember this story from our Moana service a couple weeks ago, that the lava monster is hurling these stones, these lava rocks at her. And the man, the male figure in the story, Maui, is screaming and yelling and causing all kind of strife and anger right back at the lava monster. But Moana chooses something different. She chooses to hold up the heart. She chooses to hold up light and love. And that very presence of holding up something different reminded the lava, the monster, who it really was, who it really is. That thoughtful interaction, not doing what the world expects us to do, but doing the exact opposite, brings out the wholeness in all of us. The lava monster was really Mother Earth in pain, in suffering, with its heart ripped out, broken. That understanding, that presence shifts us. And love, as Mother Teresa said, we can do no greater things, no great things, only small things with great love. We can do no great things. What a relief. Right? Oh, I can take all the pressure off. Let me just do small things with great amounts of love and watch how the world shifts, how our lives shift, how the Christ, that understanding of wholeness, of divinity, of presence, emerges from within each and every one of us. Love wastefully. Love extravagantly. Love thoughtfully. Unconditionally. Peacefully. Love without ceasing. Let's take that to our time of meditation.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. when I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love.
Love that heals, love that sets us free.
There is only love.
So I invite you right now to get still, to let the chair and the floor hold you, to let this moment be the only moment. For in truth, that's what it is. We have right now. We have this special place. Let go of what's going to happen later. Let go of what happened before. And see yourself as I see you. Whole. Beautiful. Joyous. Peaceful. Powerful. Divine. So take a deep breath. I invite you to see yourself through the prism of this Advent season. To practice appreciative inquiry on yourself. Where are you faith-filled? Give me the demonstrations, the proof of how much faith you have. Let each occurrence and each memory, each realization of the bountiful faith that you are, fill your thoughts. Celebrate it. Thank yourself. See it growing. Then see yourself as peaceful. Look at those moments of serenity in your life. When you are still and calm. When you are the calming force in a world filled with turmoil. Think about the times with your family that you have been peaceful. Just to be with them. In their presence. Oh, give thanks for those moments. Think about all the times that you're at peace here or at work. And give thanks for them. And love. We light the candle again for love right now. You are an amazing, loving being. You were born into this world to be held and loved and cared for. You love and care for other beings. Remember all the ways that you do this. Celebrate all the ways that you do. In the silence.
There is only love.
Celebrate it today.
There is only
You are a loving, magnificent miracle.
love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love.
See yourself spreading love now as you take every step forward.
There is only love. There is only love.
And so it is.
Love that heals,
Love that sets us free.
there is only love.
Amen.
So it's from this space and from this place of love that we step into our time of spiritual practices. We step into the space where we get to choose. This is our third principle. What is it that you wish to create in your life? What is it that you are saying yes to? And if you are live streaming with us, there's a button underneath if you're on our website, there's a button there that does say spiritual practices. And if you click it, it will open a window. We have some here to get you started, but you are welcome to write anything that got stirred up within you, anything that you feel is calling for you to say yes to as the love that you are. You can practice agape love, you can activate your divine presence, you can develop your empathy and compassion, you can be the light and see the Christ. You can love wastefully. Whatever it is that is speaking through you, I invite you, take this moment to fill in our spiritual practice. You can also use this space for any prayer requests that you wish to share with myself and with Reverend Ken. If you're watching on the live stream, there's also a prayer request button that you can click. And we're going to move from here into our time of giving and receiving. You'll notice in the corner there's a place where it says auto tithe. I auto tithe. So if you do auto tithe, please stand in that. We have these auto tithe that you can put in the basket when it comes around. We also have envelopes in the chair backs in front of you. Please write legibly on them so that we can see who you are and we can make sure that the money that you are sharing here at Unity San Francisco is being notated in our office correctly so that you can, because we are tax deductible, so we do track that for everyone. And the question that I always keep coming back to is why give? Why give? And as Reverend Ken shared, we have beliefs in this community about the beingness of who we are creates the world that we live in. And so this opportunity right now of giving and receiving is exactly that. Because as you say yes to giving of your time, of your talent, of your treasure, then that is ultimately opening you to be able to receive more time. Amazingly enough, more time, more treasure. All of it is part of that beautiful flow. We know in this teaching that we need to be the thing that we wish to see in the world. So my invitation to you, tithing is something that for me has literally transformed my life. I went from literally not having any money at all. I was collecting change in a jar over my refrigerator, and that was how I started tithing, because that was all I had. And I would take my spare change at the end of every day. That's how long ago this was, right? Who has spare change anymore? We all use credit cards. I would take all my spare change at the end of every day, and I would throw it into a jar. And that was what I could give. And you know what? All of a sudden, one day, that spare change started to be dollar bills that I was throwing into the jar. And then I started to get excited by it. And I was like, what happens if I start throwing $5 bills? So anything less than a 20 at the end of my day went into that jar. And I found that I started to look for ways to break my 20s. Because I had so much fun putting the money in the jar. And all of a sudden a year later, I turned around and I looked and I went, I'm not struggling anymore. I am not struggling the way I was before, and yet I am giving so much more than I had ever given before. So when people say to you that giving and receiving is the same thing, the practice of giving of my treasure literally transformed my understanding of me. You need to hear that. It wasn't magic. It wasn't like, it's not a vending machine. I put in my stuff and something else comes out. The fact that I was willing to give of myself changed who I am. And as I changed who I was, I understood my value in this world even more. And the world showed up valuing me even more. That is what the practice of tithing of our time, talent, and treasure offers to you. It's not magic, folks. It's actual spiritual principle acting within your own heart. So we are going to start, we have a blessing that we do over our offerings, and this idea that we joyously give, because that was the part that for me something really triggered. It was fun to put all that money in that jar and then give that money away and wait to give more money in the jar. There was true joy in it. So I want everyone right now to just smile, activate your joy, okay? You gotta activate your joy. I want to invite you to hold your offering, hold your connection card. If you're at home, just join us with your heart. You can give there's a donation button, which you can give to us as well and join in this process. And we're gonna say this offering together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I what? Give and receive. And so it is. Amen. Jessica, come on up here.
Love changes everything, hands and faces, earth and sky. Love changes everything, how you live and how you die. Love can make the summer fly, or a night seem like a lifetime. Yes, love changes everything. Now I tremble at your name. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Love changes everything. Days are longer, brings you glory, erases shame. Nothing in the world will ever be the same. Off into the world we go, planning futures, shaping years. Love bursts in and suddenly all our wisdom disappears. Love makes fools of everyone. All the rules we make are broken. Yes, love changes everyone. Live or perish in its flame. Love will never, never let you be the same. Love will never, never let you be the same. Thank you, Alan.
Everyone, Jessica Rom. Thank you. All right, and now it's time for our holiday raffle. We're gonna do this quick. All right, so our first one is, Deanne, you tell me what this is and I'll pick it.
It is the meditation in the fresh air. 6 guest passes to the Botanical Gardens, 2-day passes to Spirit Rock, and a gift certificate to Arizmendi Co-op Bakery on 9th Avenue.
Right, and the winner is Francine Bravetti.
Francine! All right. This is, Amanda's donated this. This is a private selection of wine. Tyler, can you bring it up here? We got 2 of these. This one is valued at $180.
Nice. And the winner of this is Nushin.
Yay! This. And now we have the sommelier's choice. Can you get that for me, Frank? This wine basket is valued at $225.
Okay. And here we go. And the winner is. I can't read this.
Tom Lenable?
All right, we'll find out who it is.
We'll find out who it is. I love that. Flying things. All right, so this is for the gourmet gift basket. It's got coffee in it, it's got oven mitts, it's got all kinds of fun stuff in it.
And the winner is, I suppose, and feeling my way to winner, Katie!
Katie! And the last one. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. Did you guys know that? Did you beat me out here? Okay, so this was a donation made by Unity Palo Alto to get your nails and your manicure done. And then the Sage Diffuser with Goddess Blend Essential Oil.
Ooh, cool. Okay, and the winner is Deanne! Very interesting.
I wanted this one! Okay. Anybody can win! This really was the one I wanted. I love it.
Put it out there.
I love it. All right, let's welcome the children in. Stand if you're willing and able. Bright light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
This bright light light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hey, cutie.
Where's my baby?
They're coming. Where's Jessica's baby? There's Bella. Come on up here, Bella.
And we have Matthew.
Maddie's coming.
A little later.
Maddie's coming. Oh, let me get her the microphone.
So today we try to find love for second time and decided so the first experience of love is when we take care about somebody. And Roma told that it's her
You want to show?
twin, her body.
No.
Oh, cool. Is that Buddy? Is that Buddy? Yeah.
Is that Buddy? That's her dog.
So we bring for you our love.
Aww.
And we decided that love is as a circle. We give you and receive.
Aww.
And without love, it looks like this. Let us to play.
There you go, Bella. Oh. Everybody in the circle.
So as they pass the yarn around, we will remember our affirmation for the children. Yeah. So our children's affirmation is, you are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are. So these children, the children of the world, the children in your heart, your own inner child. As we hold this circle of yarn and this concept, I invite you to affirm this with me. You
Are God's perfect child. We love you exactly the way you are.
And so
And so it is.
And the last
All righty.
one. The last thing that we can share with you. This is what hold us. This is connected us. And if you pull it or broke it, we will feel it. And the power is hold us, is only love. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tatiana.
Woohoo!
So thanks to everybody who made this service possible today. Our youth and family department and Tatiana heading it today.
Yay!
The ushers, the greeters, the music team, the the AV team over there in the corner doing great work. Prayer chaplains. If you have something you'd like to hold in your heart today, I invite you to pray with the prayer chaplain in the prayer chaplain corner after today's service. And meditation service on Wednesday with Reverend Elizabeth, the healing circle, the candle lighting service on Friday with Deanne and I, the Christmas service on next Sunday, bring the whole family, and burning bowl service on December 30th. I invite you now to let us sing our closing song, True Colors.
You with the sad eyes. Don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can't lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your
Now it's time for our transformational affirmations. I'll say these statements once and I invite you to affirm them after me. I am divine love in expression.
I am divine love in expression.
I love unconditionally.
I love unconditionally.
I love thoughtfully.
I love thoughtfully.
I love wastefully.
I love wastefully. And I see my true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show our true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow.
And so it is.